Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ, where we help you lead with purpose and succeed with impact. If you're ready to grow into the kind of leader others want to follow, this podcast is for you. If you're determined to elevate your success and leave a lasting legacy, this podcast is for you. As my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell reminds us, everything rises and falls on leadership. Our goal is simple: to inspire you, challenge you, and equip you with insights that can transform the trajectory of your leadership journey. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
And I made a relationship there that recruited me to Microsoft. I would not be here if it hadn't been for that decision to write a book amidst the hardest period of my life.
Wow.
I would be sitting here today.
I think you need to tell us about that mindset. Even your book talks about it, Unbeatable. And I know there is another book that you recommend my readers read about the score takes care of itself. What is the mindset that we have to have when we are down, when we are laid off, when we can't find a job, when the economy seems to be going down the toilet? What is the mindset an aspiring leader needs to have in order to succeed? Tell us more about that, please.
So back in 2018, I went on a backpacking and hiking trip with my father-in-law and my brother-in-law through Rainier and the Cascades. And there were times where I looked up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go up here. And there were literally times that I thought I was going to die. So I wondered if they really didn't like me and they were trying to get rid of me. Didn't know. But what I learned in that experience, Bob, was that I couldn't control my thought about going up that mountain. But what I could do is I have 3 daughters, so I've seen the movie Frozen way too many times.
Yeah.
Anna says, do the next right thing. I could land the step in front of me. I could do the next right thing as best as I could. And if I noticed that if I landed the step right in front of me over and over and over and over and over again, eventually I'd look back and I was at the top of this mountain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this amazing view from up here. That's the same with life. In even your lowest moment, even if you've got to shrink it down, I was completely alone and abandoned during this time. These people that claimed they were my family and friends, they didn't give me the time of day. And so, it was really hard for me to just pick myself up and do the next right thing. But I did it. And I just willed myself back into the game. And what it did is it taught me not only what I was capable of, but also the power of resilience and, just the mindset of becoming unbeatable. It's really all about, no matter what happens to you, you've got to figure out, okay, what is the current set of circumstances and what is the next right thing that I can do the best I can. And if you do that over and over and over, so I was depressed. And honestly, it was a couple of friends and the first time I saw a James Bond movie that pulled me out of that, because then I was like, oh, wow, I can act like I don't care about anything and I can act cool. And things started to come to me. And I don't know, but I would tell my younger self, hang in there, it gets better. And I'd probably show my younger self a picture of my wife and kids and be like, you know what, man, you're
Wow.
going to win.
That is powerful. Okay, to end this, it's going to be lightning round, so don't take too much time to think. It's going to be really, really quick. One word that defines great leadership. One word.
Selflessness.
Okay, morning routine or practice that keeps you grounded.
Workout and coming up with my daily non-negotiables.
Okay, you have to tell me more about that. Non-negotiable. What
Yeah,
else?
so every morning when I'm in the gym, it's my 5 non-negotiables that I have to get done that day. I get so many emails, so many messages. I have to do those 5 things, or that day is not a success. And as I may cross off the last one at 6 o'clock right before I walk out this door to dinner, but I got to get them done.
How do you come up with those 5 non-negotiable?
When you're separated from everything and you're like working out or you're like grinding or whatever it is, like there's clarity. And I just know, like, okay, wow, I really have to get this done.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know that I need to land this deal by the end of the quarter.
Fantastic.
So what's the step that I need to take today to push that down the line?
Wow.
But I craft those 5 things, and before I get sucked into the minutia of the day, I do those things.
Okay, for those listening, especially aspiring leader, this could literally change your life, because I think in life what usually happens is we take care of anything that's an emergency, even when it's not important at all. So busy, but we don't actually get anything done. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining the Leadership and Success podcast. I'm Coach Busy, and thank you for being here. Today, we are going to have a 10-minute AI recap of Salesman on Fire. This is season 4, episode 92. I had the privilege of speaking with Carson v. Heady. He's the managing director at Microsoft. So before we do that, let's do our moment of gratitude. This is where it takes less than a minute. We just want to take the time to be reflective and be grateful for one thing today. So if you would, maybe you want to close your eyes, put yourself in your happy place, take a deep breath, and think about one thing you are grateful for today. I think today I am really grateful for all of the great people I have met, right? All of the masters in their craft, people like Carson, Heady, you are going to be listening from today. People like my mentor, Shirley Archambault. People like Admiral Glenn Van Erck, who's going to be next Friday. Great people who've done great things in their field and who are willing to share what they have learned with me and my audience. I am just so grateful for that. And let us know what you're grateful for. Type it in the comment. And also, if you would, I would very much appreciate it if you let somebody know if this podcast is adding value to you. Let somebody tag them along, repost and like, and so that we may reach more and more people. So I do appreciate that very much. So we're gonna start with the 5-minute preview of the interview I had with Carson v. Heady. Let me load it up for you. Here we go.
You know, some of the most powerful leadership lessons aren't learned in a boardroom. Nope. They're usually forged in moments of deep personal uncertainty. Today, we're going to dive into how one leader turned incredible hardship into a masterclass on resilience. It all comes down to these 3 phrases. Now, they might look simple, like something you'd see on a motivational poster, but trust me, they're way more than that. They are a real, practical framework for leading when the stakes are incredibly high. And this framework, it gets results. The leader we're talking about, Carson v. Heady, has used this exact mindset to help generate over $1 billion in revenue. So how on earth did he do it? Well, let's break it down. Okay, so this is Carson Heady, a managing director at Microsoft. But his journey didn't start in some fancy executive suite. It started in a call center. And his story is really defined by this remarkable ability to turn massive obstacles into even bigger opportunities. So what's the secret sauce here? What's at the very heart of his strategy? Well, it's 3 core principles that guide his approach not just to work, but to life itself. Let's take a look at the first one. This first mantra is all about discipline. It actually came from a mentor, and it completely changed his whole perspective. See, in a world that's just full of noise and distractions, the key is to obsessively focus your energy only on the things you can actually change. I love this. He's basically saying, shift your focus from worrying about the outcome to perfecting your effort, right? You can't guarantee a win, but you can guarantee you gave it absolutely everything you have. And the results, well, they tend to follow from there. The second mantra is a total game changer for how we think about stress. Instead of seeing pressure as this heavy weight, Carson sees it as a sign of purpose. Think about it. If you're feeling pressure, it's because you've been trusted with something important. It's actually a test of gratitude. And this reframing is so practical. When he's presenting to CEOs like Satya Nadella at Microsoft, Carson doesn't see nerves as a weakness. He sees them as proof that he cares, and he channels all that energy directly into his purpose. And then there's the final mantra. This is the anchor. It's that raw commitment to keep going, to perform with discipline, especially when things are at their absolute toughest. It's all about showing up when it would be so much easier to just sit down. During one of the hardest times of his life, dealing with loss and massive uncertainty, this mantra came to life for him through a song, Queen's "The Show Must Go On." It became his daily anthem, a powerful reminder that perseverance is a choice you make, not just a feeling you have. Okay, a powerful mindset is one thing, but how does it actually translate into action, especially during a crisis? Let's see how Carson put this whole philosophy into practice after a huge career setback. Get this, after being laid off twice in his early 30s, Carson was facing a situation almost entirely out of his control. So what did he do? He focused on what he could control. He took massive, focused action. He wrote a book, Birth of a Salesman, and then he did something pretty incredible to get it noticed. 968. Just let that sink in for a second. That's how many messages he sent. This is what controlling the controllables looks like in practice. It's not about one perfect email. It's about relentless, disciplined effort. And that singular focus is what opened the doors that eventually led him to Microsoft. But here's the thing. That relentless effort wasn't just about sending messages into the void. It was about building a reputation and forging real relationships. It just proves that your character and your network are the true currency of your career. You know, when he's facing an overwhelming challenge like a layoff, his approach is profoundly simple. Just do the next right thing. It's kind of like climbing a mountain. You don't stare at the summit the whole time. You just focus on taking the next safe, correct step. And one day you look back and realize you've reached the top. So this philosophy doesn't just apply to personal resilience. It actually shapes how he leads his teams at Microsoft, where the stakes are incredibly high. At Microsoft, he embodies their simple yet really powerful leadership model: model, coach, and care. It's a framework that intentionally puts people, not just processes, at the absolute center of everything. For Carson, empathy isn't a weakness. It's a leadership superpower. He believes true leadership means having the courage to let the business agenda wait when a person on your team truly needs your support. Let it. Wow. And this leads to a really important question for all of us. As you go through your week, just think about this for a second. Who in your world, at work or even at home, needs your empathy more than your expertise right now? So, as we wrap things up, let's elevate this conversation from just achievement to real impact. What does all of this add up to in the end? When asked to define leadership in a single word, his answer wasn't vision or strategy. It was this: selflessness. It's the absolute core of servant leadership, the idea that you lead not for the spotlight, but in the service of other people. And ultimately, that completely redefines success, doesn't it? It isn't measured by what you accumulate for yourself, but by what you contribute to others, the mark of kindness and purpose you leave behind. And this leaves us with one final, challenging thought. Your legacy isn't your title. It's not the list of accomplishments on your resume. Your legacy is defined by the people you empower and lift up along the way. So the real question is, who are you lifting today?
All right, now I am going to go ahead and play the 10-minute AI recap. And after that, I'm going to play one more teaser and then a surprise for all of you watching. Again, if you have a question for me, type it in the comments. And thank you so much for being with us today. Here we go.
Welcome to this leadership episode. Today we're diving into a remarkable journey from call center cubicles to the boardrooms of Microsoft. It's all about turning setbacks into stepping stones,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. What really stands out is how the story blends relentless resilience with a completely human approach to leadership. How do you see that playing out?
Well, you see, Carson v. Heady's path is not just about climbing the ladder. It's about redefining what leadership means. From being a rookie on a call center floor to influencing over $1 billion in revenue at major companies. His journey shows that every challenge can mold you if you control what you can, focus on relationships, and always remember that the show must go on.
Yep. And those three mantras: control the controllables, pressure is a privilege, and the show must go on. They really form the core of his philosophy, don't they?
Exactly, yes. Let's break it down. Control the controllables urges us to focus only on what we can actually influence rather than getting lost in all the chaos. Pressure is a privilege flips the script on stress, suggesting that being under pressure means you're in a role that really matters. And the show must go on. It's almost like his daily soundtrack, reminding us to push forward even when every part of us is tired or overwhelmed.
Right. So it's not about denying difficulties, but embracing them as part of your leadership journey, huh?
Uh-huh. When he talks about pressure is a privilege, he's essentially saying that if you're trusted with big responsibilities, that pressure validates your role. It's like having a badge of honor that reminds you you're part of something bigger.
Yeah, that really jumps out because so often pressure is seen as something to avoid. Turning it into a privilege is an interesting mindset shift. What about control the controllables?
Oh, yes, it's like you focus on what's in your hands. For instance, rather than stressing about market fluctuations or external factors you can't change, you drill down to your execution, your preparation, and your attitude. This is where discipline really brings clarity amidst chaos.
And then there's the show must go on. I remember him mentioning that Queen Anthem resonated with him during the toughest moments, almost like a rally cry every morning before big calls or negotiations.
Exactly. Imagine starting your day with that energy. The show must go on isn't just about pushing through. It's about channeling your inner strength even when it feels like the world is against you.
Yep, it's impressive how his story also highlights the power of relationships. I mean, after facing layoffs, he took the brave step of sending 968 messages to, well, build a network that eventually led him back into the corporate world. Isn't that a testament to like persistence and genuine connections?
Absolutely. His experience emphasizes that relationships and reputation are the currency of influence. By building bridges, sending those messages, writing his first book, and staying true even in tough times, he showed that a strong network can literally resurrect your career.
That part is so timeless. In any environment, whether in tech, military, or startup culture, building sincere connections matters. But don't you think there's a risk of falling into transactional networking rather than authentic relationship building?
That's a fair point. While relationships are highlighted as vital, Carson stresses authenticity and reputation. It's not about exchanging favors or superficial networking. It's about genuinely solving people's problems. In other words, being a dependable problem eliminator earns you real trust over time.
Right. Fascinating. Shifting gears a bit, he also underscores resilience, comparing his journey, especially the lows of layoffs, to climbing a mountain. That do the next right thing philosophy really resonates, doesn't it?
It really does. Think about it. Climbing a mountain isn't done by trying to leap to the top, but by uh, taking one deliberate step at a time. His next right thing mantra is like um, a constant reminder that every setback is just the beginning of
Yeah.
another ascent.
And this isn't just about career setbacks. This resilience translates into everyday leadership too, right?
For sure, his experiences teach us that resilience is not about never falling down, but about rising again, stronger and wiser. And that brings us to his daily habits, like his non negotiables in the morning that set the tone for the entire day.
Speaking of that, he mentioned 5 daily tasks that, if left undone, mean the day wasn't complete. It's almost like having a mini ritual to ensure you're ready to tackle the mountain ahead.
Exactly. It's a discipline that transforms how you approach challenges. It's like a signal to your day. If you haven't done these steps, you haven't truly started.
Yeah. And then there's the role of faith in all of this. Carson mentions biblical verses and leans on spirituality as a guiding principle in his leadership. How do you think that shapes his overall strategy?
That's key. Incorporating scriptures like Proverbs 16:3 or the verses encouraging perseverance not only grounds his actions, but also reminds him and us that leadership is about stewardship. It's about dedicating your efforts with a sense of purpose beyond just profits or accolades.
Definitely. And his humility, calling himself an average guy from the Midwest, adds a layer of authenticity that many leaders lack. It's inspiring when someone so accomplished remains so rooted in service.
Absolutely. His servant leadership model, coach, care, isn't just a business tactic, it's a lifestyle. Leading by example, offering support, and truly caring about his team's well being shows that leadership is less about spotlight and more about, well, lifting others up.
Yeah, I love that. It's almost like his story is a big mosaic of lessons. Using books like Start With Why, The Score Takes Care of Itself, and even Man's Search for Meaning to sharpen his vision. It's such an eclectic mix.
Exactly. And that mix fuels his leadership philosophy. It's like every book, every experience adds another piece to his puzzle of success. The combination of personal hardships, faith, and continuous learning resonates on so many levels.
But here's something I was pondering regarding the show must go on. Don't you think that sometimes pushing on without pause might risk ignoring important signs of burnout? I mean, it sounds almost too relentless.
That's a very valid critique. While the show must go on champions perseverance, it's not meant to suggest that you ignore your well being. It's more about channeling that energy to work through tough times rather than, say, completely shutting off. It definitely requires balance.
Yeah, right. It's a delicate balance. You want to honor persistence without sacrificing health. So, in addition to that, his emphasis on empathy, he mentioned letting a one on one meeting, even if it derails because someone's having a tough day, really shows that caring beats cold calculation.
Absolutely. That's another layer to his leadership. It's not about numbers or rigid strategies. It's about making people feel seen and supported. It's his way of saying that leadership isn't a one-man show. It's a collaborative journey where you have to model genuine care for your team.
And speaking of collaboration, his emphasis on relationships really dovetails with the idea of legacy over limelight. It's a reminder that, at the end of the day, it's not about individual acclaim, but about the impact you've had on others' lives.
Exactly right. Legacy, in Carson's view, is built on everyday actions, being there, helping others, and sometimes even sacrificing personal gain for the sake of the collective well-being. It's a potent counter-narrative to the self-promotional leadership models we often see.
Not to mention his focus on building reputation long before it's needed. like how early setbacks propelled him to work harder on his personal brand. That's an important lesson for leaders in any field.
Yes, it underscores the idea that every meaningful move is anchored in trust, integrity, and genuine relationship building. As he says, be a problem eliminator, and eventually people will reward you with opportunities.
Yeah. And then there's his book, Unbeatable: The Legend of the Salesman on Fire, which is more than just a title. It's a testament to rising after every fall, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's about reinvention and resilience. Each setback is like a rung on the ladder that eventually leads to a higher level of leadership. He even compares it to a hiking trip on Mount Rainier, where you focus on the next step, not the entire steep climb ahead.
It truly captures the essence of leadership as a discipline rather than a destination. And it's interesting how these themes resonate, whether you're an executive in Silicon Valley or a military officer navigating high stakes missions.
Right. In both scenarios, the principles of controlling what you can, embracing pressure as a sign of purpose, and always moving forward apply. It's a versatile blueprint that adapts to any environment.
Yeah. So if we sum it up, his journey teaches us that leadership is a delicate mosaic of resilience, authenticity, relationship building, and above all, selflessness. Nothing is just about profits or personal gain.
Exactly. Carson's story, with all its ups and downs, reminds us that leadership is about service, about lifting others up and leaving a legacy of kindness, persistence, and purposeful action.
Yep, truly inspiring. It's a masterclass in turning adversity into advantage and ensuring that through it all, the show not only goes on, but thrives.
Indeed, and that is the real power of sustainable leadership. Knowing that every challenge is just another chance to refine your craft and to make a difference in someone else's life.
Thanks for this engaging chat. It's been a deep dive into resilience and service that we can all learn from.
Absolutely. Here's to continuing the journey, embracing every step of it, and always, always remembering that as leaders, we're here to serve and uplift one another.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, so this is it for the summary. And now, I think for me, the real highlight with my discussion are the three core principles that Carson talks about, right? Control the controllable. You have to focus your energy only on what is within your sphere of influence, ignoring the noise. It reminds me of the serenity prayer, right? Know what you can change and control and what you can't, having the wisdom to know the difference. And then number two, pressure is a privilege. A mindset that reframes pressure as proof that you are entrusted with something that does matter. It's a privilege to be able to lead and to influence others. It's a privilege. And then number three, the show must go on. The commitment to persevere and perform, especially during hardship, fatigue, or uncertainty. And he did write a book about it. I want everybody to purchase the book. The show must go on. And also, the very first book that Carson wrote was Birth of a Salesman. So I encourage everyone to get it. And his latest book, the one we talked about on the show, Unbeatable, The Legend of a Salesman on Fire. So I want everyone to please get a copy of that. And I also want to share my screen really quick. Let me see. I wrote an article about the interview I had. Great privilege to speak with Carson Heady. Let me change that. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So you will see on my screen here. I talked about lesson one, controlling the controllable. Lesson two, actually, let me make this bigger just a second. Lesson two, pressure is a privilege. And lesson three, the show must go on. And lesson four, relationships and reputation. That's so critical, isn't it? Then resilience and reinvention. I'm going to talk about the human side of leadership. And lesson seven, servant leadership and faith. And lesson eight, books that shaped Carson's leadership. Lesson nine, daily habits for success. Lesson 10, leadership is a privilege. And my final reflection, legacy of limelight. So again, I encourage you to read the article, to watch the full our interview I had with Carson. That's season 4, episode 92. So I don't see any question on LinkedIn or YouTube. So I'm going to play one more highlight from the interview I had with Carson, and then I'm going to play a surprise for you guys. And thank you for being with me today. And I do appreciate you encouraging someone from within your sphere of influence who might need to listen to this podcast. And thanks again. Bye for now. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So is there a question I should have asked you that I didn't get a chance to ask?
No, I don't think so. Bob, this was a lot of fun. I think you're amazing, and I appreciate what you do and how you do it. I'm grateful for our connection. No, I think, when I think about our topic and topics for today and really how you frame this up, I think success in leadership is all relative, right? Because a lot of people are going to have a different definition of success. Some people are chasing money, some people are chasing fame, some people are chasing power. But really, for me, it's always been about impact and outcomes, and how can I really empower others to be successful or to live a better life. And it's become more and more personal as I've gotten older, and I've got kids. I want my kids to be not only proud of their dad, but also to learn from the mistakes that I've made and the trail that I've tried to blaze. We're all on this earth for a relatively small period of time, so success is relative, and we can't take any of the earthly treasures with us. So, I want to leave a positive mark. And I think that personally is success, is the legacy that you can leave and the positivity that you can bring to the world. Thank you that you give today, or that calling out someone for recognition amidst chaos or pressure or deadlines, that positive thing that you do for somebody else today might mean all the world to them, and they're going to carry that with them for the rest of your life. So make meaningful investments in other people. That's my definition of success.
Wow, success is about impact and outcome. How powerful is that? Okay, tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to be back here and I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Marjorie James from Rhode Island. So you do not want to miss it. She's going to be here all the way from Rhode Island, and we're going to be talking about purpose, power, and potential. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to have my shipmate, my buddy, Commander James Sutton, U.S. Navy. He's an author, a speaker, and an advocate. We're going to be talking about commanding trust. And then this Friday, I'm going to be interviewing a 4-star general, General Glenn Van Erck, U.S. Air Force. He's the former commander of NORAD and U.S. NORTHCOM. We're going to be talking about AI, drones, and decision space. You don't want to miss it. So until tomorrow, this is Coach Busy, and here's the surprise I told you about, and this is the end of the show. Thanks again for being here. Bye-bye.
This is for Sarah and Robin. You're just too good to be true. Yeah, go ahead. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Oh boy.
You'd be like heaven to touch. Yeah. I wanna hold you so much. Love has arrived. And I think, God, I'm alive.
Oh man.
You're just too good to be true.
This is too good. This is just too good. Oh my goodness.
Caught in the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real.
You gotta put some feeling in it.
You're just too true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Next level, Carson. Take it to the next level. Oh man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't believe you did it.
I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. Horizon is just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Thank you. Thank you very
That
much.
was Carson v. Heady. Carson, prime time Heady.
I'll be back.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If today's episode added value to your leadership journey, be sure to subscribe, share, and join us again for more wisdom nuggets on how to lead better and achieve greater success. Remember, leadership is the most critical skill of our time. The world will always need leaders to inspire others, drive innovation, and execute meaningful strategy. So why not count yourself among the bold leaders shaping the 21st century? Until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep leading with excellence.